On December the 15th, 1967, at 4:58 in the afternoon, the Silver Bridge collapsed into the Ohio River. 46 people died. For 13 months before that, people in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, had been reporting a 7-foot creature with red eyes. Over 100 sightings, in police reports, in the local paper. Both of those things are documented. Neither one is in dispute. What's in dispute is whether they have anything to do with each other. And the answer isn't the one you've been told. By either side. November the 15th, 1966. Two young married couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, Steve and Mary Mallette, driving out to the TNT area north of town. A wartime munitions plant, shut down since 1945. Concrete storage igloos still sitting in the woods. It was where teenagers went to park. Just before midnight, near the old generator building, they saw something standing in the dark. Gray, around 7 feet tall, wings folded flat against its back. Two red eyes holding the light from the headlamps. They ran. It followed them out onto Route 62. Roger Scarberry told police he had the car at 100 miles an hour and the thing stayed level with them the whole way into town. They drove straight to the courthouse. Deputy Millard Halstead took them back out and found nothing. He also said, on the record, that he had never seen 4 people that frightened. They were not the last. Over the next year, Mason County logged more than 100 reports. Contractors, a National Guardsman, families driving home after dark, volunteer firemen who described a very large bird with red eyes and then refused to say anything else. 2 days after the first sighting, the story hit the papers. A copy editor picked up on the Batman series that was on television that year and filed it under a name that stuck, Mothman. Mary Hyre worked it harder than anybody. She was the Athens Messenger's correspondent in Point Pleasant, and she knew every family on both banks of the river. People who wouldn't talk to a state trooper talked to Mary. Her files kept filling through 1967, and the town changed. You couldn't buy gas in Point Pleasant that winter without somebody bringing it up. Hunters went into the TNT area after it. Reporters came in from out of state. 13 months of a small river town living inside a story it couldn't close. Now the 15th of December, 1967, a Friday 9 days before Christmas. The Silver Bridge carried Route 35 across the Ohio, linking Point Pleasant to Gallipolis on the Ohio side. It opened in 1928, named for the aluminum paint on its steel. 2 towers, and instead of woven cable, a chain of flat steel bars called I-bars, each one pinned to the next. Around 10 to 5, traffic on the bridge stopped moving. Christmas shoppers coming back across the river. Men finishing shift. Cars and trucks sitting bumper to bumper on a span designed 40 years earlier for a fraction of that weight. People on the bank heard something crack like a rifle shot. The bridge went into the river in about 40 seconds. Not one section, all of it. 31 vehicles went in. 46 people died. 2 were never found. Divers worked the river through December and into the new year, and some of the cars came up with the Christmas shopping still in the trunk. Point Pleasant had about 5,000 people in it. Everybody there lost somebody or knew a family who did. Here is where the story gets its grip. In the weeks before the collapse, the reports didn't slow down. They intensified. Mary Hyre was taking more calls that autumn than at any point in the previous year. And after the 15th of December, they stopped. Whatever people had been seeing out at the TNT area for 13 months, they stopped seeing it the week the bridge went down. Then there's everything around it. November the 2nd, 1966. 13 days before the Scarberries. Woodrow Derenberger, a sewing machine salesman, pulled over on Interstate 77 near Parkersburg by what he described as a craft, and spoke with a man who gave his name as Indrid Cold. Derenberger stuck to that account for the rest of his life. Residents reported men in dark suits turning up at their houses, asking about the sightings, getting local details wrong in ways no county official would. Mary Hyre reported it too, and she was not a woman given to nonsense. And then the part that keeps the whole thing alive. People in the town said they'd been told something was coming, that there would be a disaster on the river, that they should stay off the bridge. 46 dead on a bridge in a town that had been reporting warnings for over a year, and the sightings ending the moment it happened. If you'd lived there, you'd have put those two things together. Anybody would. The bridge failed because of one piece of steel about the length of your forearm. Federal investigators pulled the wreckage out of the river and traced the failure to a single eye-bar in the north chain. Number 330, it had a crack in it 2.5 millimeters deep. Not visible from the road, not visible from the water, not visible during inspection, because the joint it sat inside couldn't be inspected without taking it apart. That crack had been opening since 1928, driven by corrosion in steel that was fine for the traffic of 1928 and wrong for the traffic of 1967, and the design had no second chance in it. A cable bridge has thousands of wires, so a few can go. The silver bridge had 2 eye-bars per link. When 330 broke, the joint came apart and the whole structure unzipped in under a minute. That's the answer. It's been the answer since the investigation closed. So where does Mothman come in? John Keel published the Mothman Prophecies in 1975, 8 years after the collapse. Keel had been in Point Pleasant during 1967, and his book is the place where the sightings and the bridge become one story with one meaning. Before 1975, the town had a monster and a disaster. After 1975, it had a prophecy. Point Pleasant didn't fight it. There's a 12-foot chrome statue of the Mothman in the middle of town, put up in 2003. There's a museum. There's a festival every September that pulls tens of thousands of people into a town of 5,000. 4 blocks away, there's a stone marker with 46 names on it. Both of those are true at the same time. The creature is the reason anyone outside West Virginia knows the name Point Pleasant. The names on the marker are the reason it matters. Sleep tight, or don't. I'm not your mum. If you made it this far without checking over your shoulder, you're braver than most. I'm Freaky DEEKY, and I tell the stories, the maps, the textbooks, and your nightlight would rather you didn't hear. There are 2 more on screen right now. The skulls pointing right at them. And if you want a little scare every week, subscribe. It's free. Unlike sleep after this channel, sleep tight or don't. I'm not your mom.